Kristen and I are very excited to be with you guys this morning and to present SeaWorld's brand new educational program, the Shamu Connection. In our presentation this morning, we hope to give you guys a better understanding about the Shamu Connection, the potential it has to impact the educational experience for students around the world by bringing our classroom into theirs via a live video connection. Now, I want to talk a little bit about social media. Now, how many of your facilities out there use some platform of social media? That's what I figured, pretty much everybody out there. Well, you know, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, these are amazing platforms that allow each and every one of us to get our message out, to care about marine animals, and to educate people about conservation efforts and wildlife. You know, currently zoos and aquariums, including SeaWorld, we're able to bring smaller animal ambassadors into the classroom, such as birds, otters, or penguins even, to help educate and connect students with the animals. But the real question that Kristen and I wanted to entertain was, how can we bring marine mammals into the classroom, such as dolphins, sea lions, or in this instance, a killer whale? So with that in mind, we wanted to explore a couple different types of social media platforms. Now, Skype, Google Hangout, and FaceTime, they give us that opportunity to connect with people in a live setting. So, with the help of an internet connection and these platforms, we were able to start bringing Shamu right to the kids. Now, while this program got started, through our 50 years, our education department has been at the core of our park's success. So with that in mind, Chris and I, we really wanted to collaborate with them and come up with a formal presentation that was interactive, fun, educational, and that we could present on a daily basis. Now, currently, SeaWorld does offer in-classroom education programs. We have Shamu TV, Generation Nature, and the nationally broadcasted Sea Rescue. But the main difference with the Shamu Connection is, A, it was not scripted and it's not a pre-taped show, and then B, we're able to bring Shamu right to the kids and interact with them in a live, real-time setting.
When we designed the Shamu Connection, we wanted to make sure that the students were learning the core principles that we use every day at SeaWorld to provide exceptional care for the animals, including behavior modification and how we use operant conditioning and positive reinforcement to shape the behaviors of the animals. We also wanted to take the time to highlight the individual trainer and whale relationship, how we build up that reinforcement history, and how important that is in the work that we do. We talk about our environmental enrichment program and how bringing creativity and variety to the whale's life is a critical part of our job. And then we also spend quite a bit of time talking about our husbandry and healthcare practices, and we relate this to the research and conservation commitment of SeaWorld. Well, now Joe and I have shown you how the program got started. Let us show you what it's all about.
Hi everyone, my name's Joe. I'm one of the killer whale trainers here at SeaWorld Orlando. And right now we're getting ready to do a live video call with a school from Pennsylvania. We created this program to connect with students across the country. Now throughout this 30-minute interaction, you're going to learn about killer whale husbandry, their adaptations, their diets, and even how we train our killer whales using positive reinforcement. It feels amazing to be able to connect with students across the country. And by bringing the whales into their classroom, we hope that they have a better appreciation for killer whales and all of our oceans.
All right, so that was just a quick glimpse of the Shamu Connection. You know, a lot of questions we get is, well, how do we make it happen? Well, to be honest with you guys, it is really easy and very cost effective. All you really need is a laptop or a basic tablet, such as an iPad, a wireless headphone with a microphone. Now this comes really in handy because as you're interacting and getting close with the animals, obviously it's nice to not have to hold a microphone or have wires dangling from your headset. An internet connection with a live video server. Now, a lot of the times we use Skype. Most of the classrooms across the United States have Skype readily available in their classrooms, so that's pretty much been our server of choice. And then from a behavioral standpoint, please keep in mind, we did do a lot of desensitization work with the animals. Obviously, we want them to feel comfortable with us wearing the headset and getting that laptop nice and close to them. And then finally, we settled on 2 separate curriculums. I'm going to touch a little bit more about those later on in the presentation. Now, the program itself is 30 minutes in entirety, and it's interactive from the start to the finish. It consists of a trainer whale introduction, and then we really move on to the bulk of the program, which is focused around our killer whale husbandry and care. And then finally, to wrap it up, we let the kids interact with the trainers in a nice Q&A format. And then finally, we love leaving the kids with a conservation message. We're hoping that through this program, the kids are inspired to care more about the animals, because at the end of the day, the kids and the students are our future in protecting them as well.
And one of the programs of the Shamu Connection is to make sure that the trainers are making a connection with the students during the interaction. So the trainer that's speaking the Skype interaction takes the time to tell their personal story and how they achieved their dream of becoming a marine mammal trainer. They talk about their animal experience, their educational background, and anything else that was helpful on their career path. So many times the students will ask us, what does it take to become a marine mammal trainer? And we wanted them to know right away, have that information, and know this is an achievable dream for them as well. Next, we give them a sneak peek into Shamu Stadium by helping them get to know the whales that are participating in that program. And we talk about the whale's age, name, gender, and some fun characteristics about each animal. Then we have them do an introductory aerial so they can kind of see them in action. And from here, we move into that core segment of the program, the husbandry or healthcare practices. And we want to emphasize to the classrooms that the health and well-being of our animals is our top priority at SeaWorld. So we talk about the routine physicals that the whales undergo, and how we use these to make sure we're real proactive in the medical management of this collection of animals. And we show them a blood draw. And we can get this Skype equipment so close to the edge of the pool that we can actually point out the vein at the ventral surface of the tail and talk to them about how the vets draw that sample and use that information to make sure that they're healthy and thriving in our care. From here, we move on to showing them a killer whale size scale, and this always gets a great reaction out of the students. We make sure to weigh a juvenile and an adult so they can see that size difference. And this gives us a great segue to talk about the killer whales' diets. A lot of times they'll wonder how we know how much food to feed them. And so we'll talk about how our vet team and animal training team work together with this information and other data to determine those food intakes for the animals. Now, Joe and I thought it was really important to include killer whale measurements in this program. We want to show the students how we measure the whales and how we use this information to chart growth and development. We share this information with our sister parks, other facilities, and wildlife biologists that are researching killer whales out in the wild. Now, anytime we can give them a relevant example of how we're helping with research, we throw that into the program. So for instance, last week I was doing a Skype interaction for a school group, 7th graders in Ohio, and I talked about how Dr. Hansen, a wildlife biologist who studies killer whales in the Pacific Northwest, came to SeaWorld, and he videotaped our whales and was using that information in addition to the measurements to compare to those pods off the coast of Seattle and help his conservation efforts. So it's a great example to share with the students. Okay, and now the last husbandry behavior that we demonstrate is that conditioned urine sample. And again, we can get that equipment so close to the edge of the pool they can see them fill up the cup. And we can talk to them about the cycles and the hormones of our female killer whales and how this is a key behavior in that success of our breeding program with the killer whales. We always want to let the classrooms know that because of this relationship that we develop with the whales and this husbandry training that we use, we can obtain samples from the killer whales in the care of man that we cannot get that from them in the wild. And this is just another commitment from SeaWorld to conservation.
Now, I talked a little bit earlier about the different types of curriculums that we offer. Now, all of our curriculums are based on the age level of the students. I'm going to talk a little bit about our elementary and middle school one. Now, keep in mind, all the connection programs offer the husbandry demonstration that Kristen was just talking about. But one of the things we wanted to add for the elementary and middle school was we felt it was really important to teach our younger audiences why killer whales are the top predator of the oceans and how their adaptations make them so. Here's a quick video of what that's about.
Hey guys, this is my friend Katina, and right now I'm going to tell you about some of the adaptations that she has that makes her the top predator of the ocean. Right here, in front of her eye patch, is actually her eyeball. These guys have really good eyesight above and below the surface of the water. And up top is their blowhole. You hear that? That's actually where they breathe from. And now right here we have their dorsal fin, which is kind of like a rudder, which helps them steer through the water, but also they have their pectoral flipper. Now if you were to imagine your bone structure, like your hand right here, they have the same exact thing right here inside this pectoral flipper.
All right, well that right there was just a quick glimpse of the adaptations portion of it. Now I kind of want to switch gears, and I really want you guys to see what the kids are experiencing on the other side of that tablet. Now, I want to preface this video by letting you know, before we did this program, we spoke with a teacher. None of these kids have ever had the opportunity to see a killer whale or been to a SeaWorld park. So check out their reactions.
I'm going to show you guys something really cool. Everybody put your hand out like that. Awesome. Now, everybody sees we have 5 bones here that make up our fingers, right?
Believe it or not, killer whales have the same exact bone structure right here in their pectoral flippers.
All right, everybody get ready. Here she comes. In 3, 2, and 1. Everybody see that? That was awesome, yeah. 3, 2, and 1. Here is Katina. Now look at that. Katina, she weighs 5,500 pounds. That's pretty big, huh?
So being able to see that, it's really rewarding to see the kids interact and really see that they are making connections with the killer whale and the trainer as well.
And one of the things I love about the Shamu Connection is that individualized curriculum that Joe mentioned. And I think it's so important to the teachers as well that they know their students are going to have an educational opportunity. So when it comes to the high school and college groups, we want to dive in a little deeper and give them detailed information. So we take the time to do a live training demonstration with them where we can talk about the ABCs of animal training and how we use successive approximations to shape behaviors with the whales. And we want to show them some of the tools that we use as well. So we show them the whales touching a target at the surface and then to higher heights to that target response. And we talk about how we use primary and secondary reinforcement to reinforce the whales for these behaviors. Now the environmental enrichment section of the program is something that all age groups get to enjoy. And the kids really seem to get a kick out of watching the whales play with the toys. We have a very passionate, dedicated team of trainers at Shamu Stadium that work on enrichment devices on a daily basis, and we want to show those off in this program and talk to the students about how this variety and creativity add to the mental stimulation of the whales, as well as the social cooperation and teamwork amongst the pod as they share those toys. Now at the end of the Skype interaction, we do the Q&A segment. And again, all the age groups get to ask questions and get those answers that they're looking for. But for the high school and college groups, we wanted to formulate an expert, very experienced panel. So we invite our Director of Animal Training, Kelly Flaherty-Clark, and one of our veterinarians, Dr. Laura Croft, to answer those questions. So many times we find that the high school and college groups will have very scientific questions or technical questions, and sometimes controversial questions. So we want to make sure they're learning the truth in our parks and the truth in the care of the animals, and they leave satisfied with the knowledge that they hope to gain.
All right, we're going to have a little fun with everybody this morning. We're actually going to give you guys a demonstration of the Shamu Connection back with our team in Orlando.
Bahamas. Can you hear me guys okay?
Yeah, Leah, we can hear you fine. It's so good to see you. Now, we only have a few minutes. I was wondering if you could give these folks a quick husbandry demonstration that we do during our Shamu Connection program.
All right, great. Yeah, let's go ahead and get started. If you want to follow me, we're going to show you how we show the students and the teachers how to get a voluntary conditioned blood sample from our killer whale. You can see True right here. He's a 9-year-old male with his trainer Tanner. We like to show the students where we get the blood from their tail flutes. You can see True is all ready. And we even like to point out to the students where we get the blood from the vein that runs really close to the surface of their skin. And we like to show them how all the behaviors that the killer whales do to participate in their proactive health care are really important in the daily care of our killer whales. So True is doing a great job showing us where we would get that blood sample from. And the next thing we like to show is how we obtain a urine sample from our female killer whales. This is a great way to chart their hormone cycles. And this is a behavior that we show to our high school and college curriculum program for the Shamu Connection. This is Kayla, a 26-year-old female killer whale with her trainer Ashley. You can see that she's showing her the urine cup that is the stimulant to let Kayla know that we're about to get that urine sample. We show the students how we slide the criteria. We point out where we grab the urine from. See, Kayla is very good at this behavior. Absolutely no problem whatsoever. And next, we love to show the students how we obtain measurements from the killer whale. We explain to them how this information is really key data that we share with scientists and researchers who are studying killer whales out in the wild. And we can share this information with them so they can compare killer whale measurements to killer whales who are out in the wild as well. So this is really important information that we get. This is Malia, an 8-year-old female, working with her trainer Ashley, and the killer whales are conditioned to let us use this measurement tape to obtain different measurements on the killer whales. Getting a couple of dorsal fin measurements. And then we also love to show the students how we get the killer whale's weights. We get this once a week, and this is always a great response from the students when they actually see the killer whale slid up on the scale right over here. Usually what we do is we do 2 killer whale scales. So this is Trua again, the 9-year-old male. Once they actually see the killer whale slid out, it always gets a great response from the students and teachers. We show them the actual readout where we get the weight from. It looks like right now Trua is weighing just under 4,000 pounds. And then next we would usually show a killer whale that is a full-grown adult so they can see the size difference, which is always really cool. Now, Joe, I know you talked a little bit more about the different curriculums we have for our variety of programs that we do with Shamu Connection.
Yeah, Leah, we did. You know, you guys are doing a great job. We got less than a minute with you. If you could briefly explain our environmental enrichment program that we offer for our killer whale family there in Orlando.
All right, yeah, well, I have an enrichment device right here. We like to wrap up the Shamu Connection with a Q&A with the students and the teachers while the killer whales enjoy one of their killer whale toys. This is an example of one of the enrichment devices that the killer whales will play with. They really seem to enjoy this one in particular with all the various parts and the straps for them to hold on to and play with each other. Thank you so much for joining us today to learn a little bit more about the Shamu Connection program, and enjoy the rest of your time in the Bahamas and the IMATA conference. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, Leah. Thank you so much. So to recap, you know, SeaWorld and other parks around the world, we've been able to go into the classroom and educate students about animals. However, as social media is evolving, it is allowing us the opportunity to bring marine mammals into the classroom with us. The Shamu Connection teaches the essentials of training, environmental enrichment, husbandry care, and the overall natural history of killer whales. You know, in 3 short months, we've been fortunate enough to reach 400 students in 15 different schools across the United States.
We feel strongly that we can inspire students to care about animals in the natural world. The killer whale is just one icon to represent our oceans. There are so many species of marine mammals that can make a lasting impression. And all of us in zoological facilities across the globe have the privilege of impacting park guests every single day. But there's still so much more we can do to make a difference. And those of us in the zoological facilities have learned so much about the animals in our care. And this information has benefited animals in the care of man and animals in the wild.
We hope that through this presentation this morning, we've inspired you guys to see the difference that each and every one of our facilities can make around the world in the zoological and aquarium industry with just a basic, simple internet connection. Thank you all so much. Enjoy the rest of your week.